Well, this is an interesting interview. It was mislabeled in a drawer. It said Rush Limbaugh. I interviewed Rush Limbaugh later this day, but I had a chance to interview OJ Simpson, who happened to be at the National Association of Television Program Executives in New Orleans, promoting one of his many opportunities. Remember, this guy used to be on Hertz commercials. He had a lot of different television shows, was on the Naked Gun movie series, and he was very active. And he talked about in this interview his family. I remember this exactly. Remember, this is all pre-trial. This is all in the 90s, in the early 90s. Again, New Orleans, interviewing OJ Simpson, and I remember him to be very charming and was very relaxed as we sat down to do this interview. One of the more interesting interviews and unusual, boy, in retrospect for sure, OJ Simpson.
You got so many things going on. List for me the OJ Simpson projects. You still with NBC?
Of course, I'm still with NBC doing commentary work on the NFL Live, basically co-hosting with Bob Costas. And of course, First and 10 is what I'm here for. That's a show I've done for 6 years on HBO, and now we're stripping it, syndicating it.
Is it still in production?
No, actually, we just stopped producing it. We're talking about doing the movie. I'm about to do the third movie in the Naked Gun, series of movies. And then I do most of my work is business. I have a number of companies that I not only own, other companies I'm on the board of directors and actively work with, Swiss Army Knife, Swiss Army Watch, for instance. So I do a lot of that type of stuff.
How did you ever think when you were doing football, were you able to look ahead and try to make any kind of plans? Did you know you were going to be doing NBC or being a movie star or any of this kind of thing, or did it just happen?
Well, as a kid, I never thought about it, but in my second year in pro ball, I got hurt and I missed half the season. And I was forced at that time to say, boy, it could be over this quick. I mean, this could have been the end of my career. What am I going to do when my football career is over? So it was about that time that I decided to start preparing myself for the eventuality of, eventually when my career would be over. And one of the things I started doing was producing TV shows that, I had a deal at Columbia and I did. And then I got active more in real estate and in other businesses. Fast food business, for instance. I own a number of stores out west. Regular food, if you ever had a honey baked ham, I own a number of those stores out west. So and I try to be versatile.
So what's your number one thing?
Golf. I wish I could play on the golf tour. I wish I could be a senior in golf.
Is the acting fun? I mean, you're in very fun roles. I don't know if it's as fun to do as it is for us to watch, but it's a lot of fun for us to watch.
Well, I like working with interesting people who are fun. The Zuckers who do the Naked Gun stuff is fun. Peter Locke, Don Kushner who do First and 10. It's a lot of fun. It's different. It's humorous. But it touches in First and 10 on some serious issues that have arisen in sports. So I like more to try to make people smile than anything else. It's been my way. When I give speeches, I have a message within my speech, but I like to be entertaining because you don't want to be too heavy. And if someone picks something up from it, something that can help them in dealing with all the stress and pressures that we all are forced to, face with in our lives, all the better, But I like to try to make people smile.
How did football, did it give you the discipline to be able to be the actor and to be the businessman and all that?
Well, it certainly was a canvas to develop certain skills. One, because I was interviewed to feel comfortable in front of a camera. Two, because you're exposed on a daily basis to so many people, you get insight into types of people and attitudes. So when you read a script, you can say, this guy is sort of like, J.D. Hill or something, and you can use that, So, and of course there are certain disciplines. One thing you recognize in sports, you get out of it what you put into it. And I find that, movies and TV is a collaborative thing. So, and that's what football is. So you get accustomed to working with people and judging their moods and giving, a key to being excelling in team sport is the ability to pull the best out of other people. Same thing in acting, same thing in commentating. When I'm sitting up there with Bob Costas, is to let him be the best. Do what you can to let him be the best, and consequently, the show is better.
I'm trying to nicely describe what they're doing to you in Naked Gun, but I mean, OJ the boob or something. I don't know what they're abusing you in that movie.
Well, yeah, I get abused and misused. Like my voice is going down. I've been abused here, but anyway, I look at it like the Wile E. Coyote. in the Roadrunner movies that, you know, this guy takes a licking, but he keeps on kicking. You know, he keeps coming back, and essentially that's why whenever anybody asks me to describe my character, I say, well, think of the Wile E. Coyote. That's what my character is.
The First and 10 has some pretty girls on there, and a little bit. What do you think the secret of the success of that was? Because there's a little racy, a little bit of everything in there.
Well, yeah, I think it was a show that took an interesting subject and situation, took people on the inside of that's football, a team sport, and we took it out to the edge humor-wise. You know, we got a little broad with the humor on it, but there was very few things that happened in that show that I couldn't relate to, or one of the players wouldn't say happened. Matter of fact, most of our storylines came out of real-life situations, and we just blew it up a little bit. You know, and some things you couldn't blow up enough. Some things that happen in sports, we couldn't even blow it up. We played it for what it was, and people may have saw it and felt that, oh yeah, this is exaggerated, when it wasn't.
Finally, when you were in football, I'm sure a goal was either to win the national championship in college, or to win the Super Bowl, or to break a record, or do whatever. How do you set goals for yourself after football that is so goal-oriented? I mean, how do you do that?
I'm a firm believer that to succeed in life, you got to have some kind of goal at all times. So you know if you're gaining on it, you think, no, you're losing on it. Some of them are very personal. Right now, all my goals are very personal goals, you know. I have to do with family and stuff, you know. Not only my immediate family, but, you know, what I call my family of friends. So I think you got to have them. That's the only way you can judge if you're gaining ground or losing ground. You don't know where you are unless you know where you're trying to get.
Let's get a couple of... That is so true. Because if you don't know where you're going, you can't get there.
Yeah. You don't know what route to take, what you need to do.
But I guess some people, you know...
You have 1 minute, you need to listen.
Okay. I need to listen, he needs to talk, okay?
Want me talking?
I like Bobby Costas, he's so sharp.
I need to stop talking and listen.
Yeah, what happened to your
voice
voice?
is gone. You know, if you don't